Kevin, is this working? Turn that other thing off, okay? Guys, what a lesson we've got today. I hope I can do it justice. I hope the Lord will let me, okay? Ezekiel, probably one of my favorite prophets. I'm going to give you a background. Our lesson today is seeing Ezekiel's future vision. Now, Ezekiel, if you look back at the 10th chapter, Ezekiel saw the Spirit of the God lifted out of the temple. I don't know if everybody knows that. The cherubim come and got him and lifted him up on the threshold because of Israel's sins. And then finally, the Spirit of the Lord, the cherubim, lifted him all the way up out of the temple. What we're going to read about today is Ezekiel's vision for the future. Okay? Anita has pulled up a picture right here, which is going to be main part. This is today. Remember this. This is the Eastern Gate. It's sealed off to this day. It was sealed off in 1540, 41 by a man named Suleiman. He was an Ottoman Empire. Can anybody tell me why this gate right here is sealed off today?
The Bible tells us that Jesus is going in through the eastern gate.
Turn him up. Bill, come here.
I've got it here.
Huh? Okay.
Okay.
I think Wileen had.
Okay, Willene, go ahead.
Coming back through the eastern gate.
Yeah, the Bible tells that he's coming back through the eastern gates, Jesus is. And so they think that by blocking that up, that's going to keep him from going through there. They've got a great awakening waiting on them.
That's the reason that gate is closed up right now.
But also something else you may not know about. In front of that gate is a graveyard, a big graveyard, and there's Muslims are planted in that graveyard. And I guess they think they're going to be able to keep him from coming through too.
Yeah.
They ain't nothing going to stop him from not going through that eastern gate.
That's what this Sultan was thinking. He's thinking, man, if I close that gate up there, there ain't no way that Messiah's going to get in that temple.
Yeah.
Duh. All right. That's the starting of our lesson today. I want you to know that. Let's go. Ezekiel's vision. This was Ezekiel's end-time vision, folks, of what's to come. We sung in the song that we're going to have mansions over the hillside, and this is some more that's going to happen, okay? So our lesson, Ezekiel's vision. All right, I want some interaction. Somebody read verse 1 for me. Will somebody get us a microphone? Just help me out here today.
Afterward he brought me again into the door of the house, and behold, waters issued out from under the threshold of the house eastward. For the forefront of the house stood toward the east, and the waters came down from under the right side of the house at the south side of the altar.
Ezekiel was facing the east. I want you to keep that in mind, okay? He was facing east when this angel messenger of God was showing him what was going on, okay? He was facing east. That's where Jesus is going to come back from. He's coming back from the east where everybody can see him, okay? Just bear with me. There's a little bit more to this than I want to explain with you. If you look in chapter 43, I'm going to put you around a little bit. It's showing that the glory of the Lord is going to fill the temple again. Okay? He's going to bust that eastern gate wide open when he comes back. And behold, this is Ezekiel chapter 43. And behold, the glory of God came from the way of the east. In case you know where we're getting, how he's coming from the east, okay? His voice was like a noise of many waters, and the earth shined with his glory. And it was according to the appearance of the visions which I saw, came to destroy the city, and the visions were like the visions that I saw by the river Chebar. And the glory of the Lord came into the house by the way of the gate, whose prospect is toward the east. So the Spirit took me up and brought me into the inner court, and behold, the glory of the God filled the house. I could talk on this for days, guys. He's going to come back through that gate, and his glory is going to be filled in the house. Okay? But right now, Ezekiel is looking to the east in this verse. Okay? I want you to we're going to go on through this, but I want you to visualize him looking to the east. Okay? Somebody read verse 2. He was looking to the east, and the waters are coming out of the right side of the house, out of the south. Okay? And he's looking at the south side of the altar. Somebody read this verse.
I got it. Then brought he me out of the way of the gate northward, and led me about the way without unto the utter gate by the way that looketh eastward. And behold, there ran out waters on the right side.
He was looking east, but the angel, I don't know who it was that was showing him this vision. It could have been Gabriel, it don't state. Turned him toward the north, okay? And he was looking out the right side, and here came the water, right? So he's headed toward the north. Maybe it was because he couldn't go through that gate at that time. I don't know. Because it was the eastern gate. Okay? Somebody read this next verse.
And when the man that had the line in his hand went forward eastward, he measured 1,000 cubits, and he brought me through the waters. The waters went to the ankles.
He's standing here, guys. And the man said, "Come with me." So he turns him toward the north. Fascinating. He works, 1,000 cubits? And they come up to water, up to his ankles. All right. Somebody read the next verse.
Again he measured 1,000 and brought me through the waters, and waters were to the knees. Again, he measured 1,000 and brought me through the waters where to the loins.
Okay, wait just a second. Let's go with this. First part, old Ezekiel's following that man and he gets to his knees. Water flowing out of the temple. We're going to see what that water is here a little bit later. And then the second part of it, steps back down and he's up to his waist. We got any comment? Anybody got any suggestions on anything that we've said so far? He got to his knees at this point and he looks out. Somebody read verse 5.
Afterward he measured 1,000, and it was a river that I could not pass over, for the waters had risen, waters to swim in, a river that could not be passed over.
A river could not be passed over. While I was reading this started at the temple, didn't it? Correct? So he gets maybe 1, 2, 3, 4,000 foot, and it turns into a river. That's a lot of water coming, right? Anybody got any comment?
Makes me think of that song.
Huh?
There's a song, step into the water, way out a little, the song that Willie was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, somebody just put in your mind how much this expands, okay? We've got some history in these next two verses, or next throughout here that's just phenomenal in the end times. All right, somebody read verse 8.
6.
Where am I at? I'm about to get lost. All right.
And he said unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen this? Then he brought me and caused me to return to the brink of the river.
He got him out so far, got him out to his waist, he couldn't go no further. So he brought him back. Now look out over yonder, look out over here, look out over the expanse, okay? Anybody else has got that? Has anybody got a comment? It was just getting, huh? Yeah. Could, yeah. Could. Anybody else? All right. Somebody get verse 8 here right quick. 7.
Now,
Hey, I'm wanting to get to verse 8.
now when I had returned, behold, at the bank of the river were very many trees on one side and on the other.
There's trees. As he looks out through there, he can't wade because it's getting too deep, okay? But he can see these trees. We'll find out what those trees represent, okay, in a verse or two. But they're glorious trees. Not trees like we see, okay? Verse 8. I've got to where I want to get.
Then said unto me, These waters issue out toward the east country, and go down into the desert, and go into the sea, which being brought forth into the sea, the waters shall be healed.
All right. From this small stream that come out of that started in the temple, the vision started here and it was at his ankles, it was at his knees, at his thighs. He got so far in that he couldn't go no more. But Ezekiel was led back and looked out over this vast expanse, and he saw trees growing on the sides of a great river, and it's dumping out into the sea. Comment?
Verse 9, you want me to read verse 9?
No, I thought you was having the comment. We're going to look at this just a little bit desert. It flows out into the desert, and this expanse of water, he can see it, okay? A big sea. The city of Jerusalem lies almost exactly, remember he's looking toward the north. He's looking out toward the north now. He's not looking at the east. Northernmost tip of the Dead Sea. Therefore, the waters, this is in your quarterly, flowing from Jerusalem's temple goes right into the Dead Sea. Pretty fascinating, ain't it? Now, somebody read the 9th verse.
And it shall come to pass that everything that liveth, which moveth, whithersoever the rivers shall come, shall live. And there shall be a very great multitude of fish, because these waters shall come thither. For they shall be healed, and everything shall live, whither the river cometh.
This verse right here, somebody tell me what kind of sea is the Dead Sea right now?
It's exactly dead. There ain't
Exactly.
nothing. It's so full of salt and stuff, nothing can live.
Have you-
I've been in the Dead Sea. I've floated on the Dead Sea. And you know, the buoyancy of the salt water is greater than our fresh water here, would keep you afloat. Let me tell you, the Dead Sea is so bad, when I laid back on my back, I couldn't hardly get my feet back under me to stand up. It's that bad.
Is he not telling the truth? Has anybody seen pictures of the Dead Sea and people swimming in it?
Yes, I've been there and watched them swim.
Did you swim or did you float?
You couldn't swim. I saw a lady try. She said, I know I can swim in it.
You know, they're selling the mud out of that Dead Sea for beauty things, okay? They're supposed to help your looks and all that stuff. Some of the people that I was with on the bus, they got muddied up, mud all over them while they were in there. I was in there too. I didn't do that, but they got mud all over, and then they went and took a shower, and it was no different than when they started in there.
But, read this verse. It's supposed to be fresh water. Turned to fresh water. Amen.
When that water flows out of the temple, it will be turned into fresh water.
It's water
Yeah.
of life, folks. There's going to be multitude of fishes because them waters had come thither. That means they came forth. These rivers that has started at the temple is going to turn pure, and they're going to They're going to heal. They're going to heal. There's going to be an abundance of fishes in there for them to eat, for us to eat. All right? Anybody else got any comment on that? For they shall be a water healed.
Well, it's kind of funny, really. But it's like us, we're dead until we receive Christ. Everything in the Bible has a representation of us, of every human being on the face of the earth. And how many times have we went to the Lord and we were completely dead? I mean, we're dead to so many things. And then when we taste his life, and then we read the word and find out what he can do, because we don't even have an inkling of what he can do if we would let him. And I can only speak for me. Many times that I thought I was in charge, to find out how many times I wasn't in charge. But on his inkling, on his thought, I can't see. Just like, for example, he prepared me for my son's death. He don't do nothing unless he prepares you first. And it's like I went through steps. And you look back now, and you see how much God loves you. How much he, even though we don't know the end result, that we can take the steps and go back. I had to go all the way back to when he started preparing me. And that's when my heart was crying out, Lord, I'm getting ready to let go of my baby. And that's when he started. He took me through 6 months of praying and seeking him and not understanding what I'm going through. You can't understand something you haven't been through. And I sure couldn't. All I knew is my baby was leaving home. He was going to the service. And I just knew that it's hard as a mother to give up the last, because that's the end, but really it's the beginning. So as I went through the process, and that's like stepping out into the water in this lesson. We start slow. He starts slow with us, but then we go so far and we back up. We're scared. And when I finally figured out exactly what he was preparing me for, I remember the very day, the very moment in the Christian Bible store that I had, that I sit right down in the middle of the aisle. And I said, Lord, if I knew what you was preparing me for, I'd have never done it. I'd have never done it, because I didn't want to give up my baby. But he said, but that was my will.
Yeah. It's in our Christian life, do some of us step right here, just at our feet, maybe getting a little wet? Then some of us step to our ankles. What she's explaining. Oh, well, I'll do a little bit. Do some of us go to our knees? Or do some of us step out here to our thighs? Comment.
Yes, I just wanted to share, there's a parallel scripture to what we're reading in Ezekiel, Revelation chapter 22. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb. And in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations.
Yeah.
She just jumped to my ending, which is good, because we're going to get back to that. I love that, okay? How many of us gets out into our thighs and turn around?
Get scared.
Huh?
Get scared.
Get scared and turn back?
It's scary.
It is.
It's very scary.
It's very scary. But what if we just dive in?
Gotta have faith.
Takes a lot more faith, don't it? Is this sort of, somebody pull me up a parable that sort of aligns with this. We've been discussing this about knee deep. Does anybody know another parable that sort of aligns with this? What about the parable of the sower? Anybody know that parable? Somebody tell me about it.
He sowed seed on different,
What ground did he sow it on?
he sowed it on, rocky ground, on shallow ground, and then the good ground that he sowed it on, of course it grew.
What happened to the shallow ground?
It
What happened
sprouted
to the
up and
shallow
then
ground?
withered
Somebody
away.
tell me what happened to shallow ground.
It rooted up and started, but then it withered away.
It rooted up.
Yeah, it's like a lot of Christians do. They get saved, they're on fire for God, but then they don't stay in the Word and get rooted up to where they can grow with their. They soon get back out in the world.
The first one, like Danny said, was sowed, and then it withered
Yeah.
because it didn't take no root. The second one stepped out and lasted for just a little while, and it also died. But the good, where it was planted in fertile soil, it flourished, didn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Is this goes right along with stepping in the water? You know, as I thought about all this, whenever that come to my mind, now, we've seen what happened to the sea. It flourished with fishes. It turned into waters sort of like us. Sort of like us. We stay in that ankle deep water, we ain't going to do a whole lot, are we? When we step to our knees, we do a little bit more. When you step to your thighs, you go out there and that water's changed, and it's full of fish where there was no fish. You understand? Can you understand that? I'm not saying just I shouldn't have said that right there. But that's what happens when you start, and I may be getting just a little bit out of the context here, but that's what happens when you step out. Okay? But our lesson, God has turned them waters into something prosperous. He's going to turn it into it. He's going to make that water, which people has told you that there's no life in it because it's just full of salt. You can't drown in that water. You'll float to the top. But he's turned it back into where the fish are going to be bountiful. Okay? Where he's going to turn it back into life itself.
It's kind of a desert like out there. I won't say there is none at all, but there's a desert right beside it, just a vast desert like nothing growing. But there is when we were there's an area they had fenced off, and it was growed up in like scrub brush and stuff. And there were signs up there to not go past that point because there's landmines through the wars and stuff they've had out there, so they hadn't been taken up. So yes, it was growed up in some brush, but it was nothing that we want to feed our cattle on.
But our lesson is telling us here that whatsoever marine life is going to live in this water because it's changed.
I've read where they're already building hatcheries alongside it.
Okay, somebody read me verse 12.
And by the river upon the bank, therefore, on this side and on that side, shall grow all trees for meat, whose leaf shall not fade, neither shall the fruit thereof be consumed. And it shall bring forth new fruit according to his months, because their waters they issued out of the sanctuary. And the fruit thereof shall be the meat, and the leaf thereof for medicine.
These trees are coming to life. Looky here, it's going to bear fruit every month. Leaves are going to abound. I guess I need to close. But,
All that represents us.
yeah, represents us. But now I want to turn you back to the verses that she said. Ezekiel, all prophecy usually is not prophesied by just one person. You can look at somebody else and see what they say, and it's usually paralleled. Now, this was Ezekiel talking long before the birth of Christ. Now, this is John talking when he was on the Isle of Patmos. And she read the verses I was going to read. Chapter 22. And he showed me a pure river of the water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God. Does that look like the same? Does that look like the same? In the midst of the street of it, and on the either side of the river, last verse we read, was there the tree of life, which beareth 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God of the Lamb shall be in it. You know, one of these days, our picture's gone, but Jesus is going to bust that eastern gate open. You know it?
That's right.
And we hear that from
It's back up
more.
there.
Huh?
Picture's back up.
We hear that from different sources in the Bible. You've heard two today. You've heard the account of Ezekiel, and now the account of John, who was, I don't know how many years apart they prophesied this, okay? And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God and of the Lamb shall be in it. And his servants shall serve him, and they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads, and there will be no light there, and they need no candle, neither the light of the sun, for the Lord God giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. Any comment? Let's all, huh?
Yeah, we got to pray over the quilt here.
Okay.
And also, this, I think, is the last Sunday of your quarterly. So we've got a box back there on the counter. If you will, take your quarterlies, your used quarterlies, and drop them in that box. And then we have the new quarterlies back there for next Sunday, okay? So if you will, gather around and let's pray over the prayer quilt, please.